Before 2013, the Lycoming College men's soccer team had never won a conference title. That changed in head coach Nate Gibney's first year when the Warriors beat Elizabethtown in a penalty kick shootout. The conference title helped change the fortune of the program. After narrowly missing out an at-large bid to the NCAA Championship in 2014, the stage was set to cement a new era in the Lycoming soccer program's history. And so come 2015, a team with no seniors took the field, but it contained some of the most talented players in program history. Future All-Region selections Jordan Logan and Abdullahi Abdi took up the midfield, and All-American defenders Kyle Thomas and Sinclair Twano clogged the defense. A loss in the team's first game, a 1-0 overtime defeat to Eastern, may have seemed ominous, but the Warriors didn't lose again. Down 2-0 to York in the 80th minute 2 games later, the Warriors rallied with 2 goals in the final 10 minutes and 1 more in overtime. It was a win that propelled the team to 7 in a row. Ties against Rochester and Arcadia couldn't even slow the momentum. By the time the MAC Commonwealth Championship game rolled around, the Warriors were 15-1-2, and the team boasted 8 all-conference selections and MAC Commonwealth Defensive Player of the Year Kyle Thomas and Coach of the Year Nate Gibney. In the championship, Twano scored to give Lycoming a 1-0 win over Messiah, its second conference title in 3 years. The next weekend, the Warriors hosted the first and second rounds of the NCAA Championships, dispatching Johnson and Wales 1-0 before down Dickinson 2-1 in the second round, with Abdi scoring the game-winning goal directly from a corner kick. Though the season came to an end the next weekend at Amherst in the Sweet 16, the 2015 Warriors left a legacy unmatched by a Lycoming soccer team, posting a 20-game unbeaten streak and finishing the year ranked 10th in the country.
Honestly, I think the biggest takeaway from the 4 years I spent on Lyco was, I guess we kind of, like the first 2 years, we kind of embraced the whole underdog tag, if I have to say, because we knew we weren't the best team, but I guess we could defend, our lives depended on it, because, coach was a freaking defender, so you have no choice but to defend. And I think as the years went by, to probably our probably junior year, and we kind of started to get, we had good players, but when we started to get better players than the ones we had, on the team at that time, Gabe started realizing that I think the team, Lyco has a target on its back, so he needs to adapt to other teams that he's going to be playing, because I think in 2016 we ended up playing Dickinson, I think for the first time in a while, and he was getting these bigger schools to play us every once in a while, so he realized I'm making the schedule a little bit harder, so the kids coming into the program, I guess, are going to either be able to adapt right away kind of thing, and you saw that from the first time from the class of 2013 to probably to the class of whenever we left, I think that was 2017. You could see that, the kids, like whoever was coming into the program, there was probably 2 or 3 kids, they were getting playing time right away. Oh, there was always that 1 or 2, 3 kids who literally had an impact right away from the get-go. And I think that was also thanks to that 1 or 2 seniors that we also have on the team. Like for my freshman year, we had, I think, was it Keenan? Was it McNiff and Justin?
Yes.
And those are the guys that used to carry, they used to say, hey, Gibbs is not the best, but he knows what he's doing. But obviously, you're not going to tell that to freshmen still on. Like, let's be honest, I hated Gibbs freshman year because it was all running. When you look at, where the team's gotten from, from day one to where you've gotten them, obviously you as a coach, but it's one of those, I wouldn't call them Cinderella stories, but it's, the program is definitely taken big chunks towards, becoming better for the student athletes, and obviously you've gotten better as a coach over the years, because when you came in, you were all about defend till you drop dead, or else, kick it to Momo. That was the thing. Oh, Nate.
Hey, boom, United, man.
Yeah. But you've gotten to the point of I think you've gotten to trust the team that you build around you, and that's there's not a whole lot of people like change. And I mean, it took you 3 years to change into this type of coach who wants to play some I think a possession ball kind of thing. But obviously you use what you got, and if you don't have the kids who can play possession, you're gonna play what you're good at, and that's being the defensive kind of coach that you are. So kudos to you on that. So all I'm saying is, if you can bring in 2-3 more updates from Seattle, I don't know where how you're gonna do that, because that team needs to get back to winning ways.
That was Fonz's job when he was out there.
Sorry, but I think from the 2013 guys and that team, I mean, we worked really hard and we're organized and we're kind of bought into whatever Gibney was telling us. But then those guys came in and you could see like their freshman year, there was just something different. And then 2015 hit, and the confidence of that team and how outward it was, I think just took other teams over and they couldn't handle it. And so at least for me, like obviously the soccer stuff we can always talk about and everything, but when these guys stepped on the field and we're in training, and the confidence and just like, I mean, for lack of a better word, the cockiness of it really worked to their advantage, and other teams couldn't handle it. And so I think for me, just remembering those years, that really helped our run, because teams couldn't match it. Like there were certain teams that just couldn't match the energy, the in your face, the trash talking, whatever it may have been, and it translated to the play. And it just took us to a different level, especially from that 2013 team, I think was definitely at least a difference for me.
To be honest, I got there at Lyco, I didn't really have too many like expectations. I just got there and I was like, man, all right, this is cool. I'm about to just, get a couple games here and there. I wasn't even like, thinking I'd be playing as many minutes as I did or anything. I was just thinking about, doing my role, helping the team as much as possible. And then, the first year, I mean, we win a championship, and that's just like, that first one is the one that I'll remember forever. Like the other ones after that, those are great, but the first one with that group of guys, it was just it was crazy. And I remember like the PK shootout at Elizabethtown. That was crazy, because I think Jason was recording, and I think like Luke like scored his PK, and then like the fans, and then and then what's it called? Who else took a PK? Connor took his PK, and he just stared down the crowd, and like, man, it was too much drama in that PK shootout. And then Trevor won it for us, and that was pretty dope. So I just think after the first one, we just kind of got the ball rolling, and then when you got expectations now, like every year, it just it got us, better players with the program. It got us to gel better. Every year. Now we're trying to defend that championship. So it was just that very first one is very special to me. So.
Sinclair, you scored the goal in the championship game. What do you remember about that, if anything?
Missing.
If I do remember, it's just the whole team played together. My freshman year, junior, and senior year, it was just one of those games that, it was the whole team that made the win happen. It was not just. I know I scored one of the goal, but if it wasn't for the whole team, it wouldn't happen. There's a lot of things that happened that Wickler went down. Both, like, all the 3 times we went to the finals, there was a lot of mistakes that we did. But as a whole team, we fixed that. Even I'll rewatch the whole video. Every single time I watch the whole video, I see how everybody played like it was the last game for every single finals that I played for Lycoming. That's the reason why we all came together this close, because everybody was doing their part and coming to the final. We did the exact same thing, and here we go. We got 2 wins. That wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad of a year.
In comparison to like the first game we played, both of them were on like our field, so we know we have the advantage because they usually just destroy us on their field because it's huge and slippery. But that second game, that finals, I mean, looking at the last 10 minutes, we were just trying to hold that lead with everything we had because they were pressing us super hard. And I remember like the last 2 minutes, they probably got like 3 ridiculously good chances. And I mean, it was as close as it could have been, you know, us pulling that one out.
In the air, still in play though. Thomas back down. Now Yeboah going forward. Oh, and a net score!
The things it takes to win a championship, right, Keithy?
Hey, I mean, we won 2 rings, Coach. We won 2 rings. You want to know something? You want to see something? Like every morning when I wake up.
What do you wake up to?
I wake up to that.
Let me see.
Sitting around in front of my TV, Coach.
I'm a bad boy up.
Right there. Every morning. Every morning. See? Hey, at least anybody who visit me, they just look at it and ask me, where did you get it? How did you get it? And I just tell them the history. You know?
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think each year our program is able to get a little bit better and better, but that's, all based on the guys that have been here in the past. No player, when they're looking at schools, or no student athlete looks at a school and says, I want to go to a place with no history and tradition. And so every year now our recruiting gets a little bit easier and easier based on the guys that are here right now. I mean, the guys in that first group, they had it the most difficult, and you've heard it from a couple guys here. I mean, our first couple days, we had to change a lot of things, and I give the guys a ton of credit because it wasn't always a lot of fun, but they kind of recognized the work that they had to do if they wanted to be successful, and they bought into it, and hopefully they feel like it was worthwhile in the rings that Keithy has in his room right now that he shows everyone when they come in. And they can look back and say, well, that 6 a.m. running or all of that hard work, was worth it. And so all of our guys now, have you guys and those early guys to thank for setting a tone, but, showing them a place that this is, somewhere where you can go, have a great experience and be really successful. And thanks to you guys, my job recruiting is a little bit easier now than what it was 5 years ago. And again, you first couple guys taking a chance on me, taking a chance on the school, taking a chance on the guys that were here in hopes of, being able to come in and win championships. And you came in and you did that work and made it happen.
When it was worth it, Keithy's ankle was fine. When it wasn't worth it, his ankle hurt.
See, Coach still has the idea that I faked my junior year with an ankle injury, man. Like,
what year was it that Keithy decided to watch the game with the fans? Was that 2015 or 2016?
I think it was 2016. But my ankle still hurt though. It still hurt. It comes every winter. That's the sad part. It comes every winter, so I'm still getting treatment for it.
The weather makes it hurt in the cold.
The cold. Whenever it's cold, it hurts more.
Oh, that brings us to everyone's favorite story of Keithy Yeboah. Sitting in the training room.
You still think so? You still believe I'm faking, huh?
With the heat on the back of the knee and the ice on the top of the knee.
Hey, I watch it on YouTube, man. You gotta know, I watch it on YouTube. You can't blame me for that.
Who was it that said he was watching too many Icy Hot commercials?
That was Momo.
Watch it on YouTube. They said it worked. At least it did work for a couple days, and it went back to what it was.
So,
boo! What? Game over! Game over! Lycoming wins! Lycoming wins! 1-0!